Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing my nails using only pigment powders. I have a previous video on how to use pigment powders, which has become one of my most popular videos, so I'm going to do it again. I received so many questions on pigment powders in my last video, so hopefully this video is a little bit more detailed and answers your questions. Now to apply the pigment powder, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow brush from Real Techniques. You're going to need a paper towel and some gel polish. You can use whatever color you like, but I prefer to use white. So the first thing I'm doing is painting my full nail white, and then I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. I find that if you cure it for more than 30 seconds, you remove the tacky layer that's needed for the pigment powder to stick. Like I stated before, you can use whatever color you like. I just prefer to use white because it helps the colors pop. The darker the color, the more subtle the pigment powder will be. Also, you want to make sure you clean up any excess polish before you cure because the pigment powder will stick to it. So just clean up your sides before you cure. I did get these pigment powders from Amazon, and I'll put the link for them down in the description. Now I'm taking this beautiful green and lightly tapping the pigment powder and going with a patting motion to pat it into the gel polish. When you're tapping into that pigment powder, you really don't need much. A little goes a long way, but I'm going to continue to do this until the full nail is covered. Like I mentioned earlier, the pigment powder needs something to stick to, so after you cure your nail for 30 seconds, if you touch it, you will feel the sticky layer that I'm talking about, and that's what the pigment is sticking to. Now I'm going to take this duster and dust off the excess powder. Next, I'm just going to top coat it so I don't mess up the green, because I'm going to go on top of it with another design, and I'm going to use another pigment powder for that design. Now for this step, it really doesn't matter if you cure for 30 or 60 seconds or 90, but I like to do 60 seconds just to ensure that it's dry before I move on to the next step. Now I'm going back in with that white for my design, and I decided to just do a cow print on this nail. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. Also, a very important step is to clean your brush in between dipping into other pigment powders. So that's where that paper towel comes in. I just use that to wipe off the excess before I move on to the next color. Now I'm doing the same thing as I did before and tapping into that beautiful orange, and then I'm going to pat it into my design. Now I'm just going to dust off the excess, and at this point, if anything is left behind, you can just use some acetone to clean it up. Now that I'm done with the cleanup, all I have to do is top coat it, and that's it for this design. Super easy, super cute. Now I'm just cleaning up my brush again before I move on to the next nail. Now for the next nail, I'm just going to draw a Frenchie, starting out by painting the tip, and then I'm going to drag those lines to meet in the middle. This is also my first time trying stiletto nails, and I must say I absolutely love them. They're super cute. Okay, Frenchie is all done, and now I'm going to take this bright pink, and I really wasn't sure what I was doing at first, but I ended up doing a ombre. So I'm going to tap the pink on the right side, and then I'm going to put the yellow on the left. Also, the reason that I like to use white gel polish is because it's easier to see if you miss a spot. So just make sure that you completely cover your entire design and that you don't miss any spots. Was it more than a summer flex? I said farewell, you took it well. Promise I won't cry, bust the milk. Me a paper towel, give me another value. Give me another hour or two. I'll war with you.
Why you bother me when you know you don't want me? Why you bother me when you know you got a woman? Why you hit me when you know you know?
Now that I'm done with that, I'm just going to dust off the excess powder and clean up my sides. And you want to make sure that you're being very careful during this step, because if you let that acetone touch the pigment powder, it will remove it. So just be extra careful when you're getting close to the design. I went ahead and top coated it, and now I'm adding this off-centered polka dot design. I'm not really sure what it's called, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. But I'm adding this to this design because I thought this would be really, really cute.
I need is about love,
I really did plan on going on top of these polka dots with another pigment powder, but it wasn't giving what I thought it was going to give, so I just skipped that step and kept it white and top coated it again after this.
I split it with you, I regret it. Got to finish.
Moving on to the next nail, I went ahead and painted it white and cured it for 30 seconds. Then I took this beautiful purple, and I was contemplating if I wanted to do a pink and purple ombre for this one, but in my mind I'm like, that might not look right, so I just ended up doing it all purple. I got a question if you could use acrylic powder as pigment powder, and I'm gonna say yes, as long as it's a colored pigment powder, you should still be able to use that. Another question was if you could use regular nail polish for pigment powders, and I'm gonna have to say no on that one, just because when you use regular polish, it has to air dry, and I'm pretty sure it probably won't have that sticky layer that you need, so I think you might need to have a gel polish in order for it to work. Another question was if I used a base coat or a matte top coat before adding my design, and no, I did not. I feel like that's an unnecessary step. I mean, of course you can use a base coat and then put the white on top if you would like, but I just skipped that step because it's just not needed. Now that I think about it, you probably could use just a base coat and then put the pigment powder on top of that after you cure it. It might just be a little bit more subtle, but it should still work. Another question was if you could put pigment powder on wet gel polish, and the answer to that is no. You have to cure it in order for it to stick. So placing pigment powder on wet gel polish won't do anything, and you'll just be wasting product. Those were just some of the main questions that I got, but if you have any new questions, leave them at the bottom of this video in the comment section and I will get you an answer. But right now, I'm just tapping in that orange into my design. And after this, I'm just going to dust off the excess, clean up my sides, and top coat it. Moving along to the next nail, I went ahead and painted it white and cured it for 30 seconds. And I wanted to do a pink on pink ombre for this one, but in my mind, it looked one way, and when I did it, it looked another. So you really couldn't tell it was an ombre because it kind of blended together, but that's okay. I kept rolling with it. It was still cute. I placed the darker pink towards the top, and then I took the lighter pink and went from the bottom up. Also, you want to make sure you're taking your time when you're working with pigment powders, just so you can make sure that you have a seamless blend and that you're not missing any spots. Now I'm just going to dust off the excess powder and top coat it. You can leave your nails like this, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going on top and being extra. Right now, I'm just adding one of my favorite designs to do, which is the zebra print. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. Working with pigment powder is like a pattern. You add your base color, cure it, add the pigment powder, wipe off the excess, and top coat it. Then you can decide if you want to leave it that way or repeat these steps on top of it with another design. Okay, my design is all done. I went ahead and cured it for 30 seconds, and now I'm taking this green and yellow pigment powder to tap into that design. Now I'm just wiping away the excess powder, and after this I'm going to clean up my sides and top coat it. Now my camera ended up dying while I was on this nail, so I don't have the footage of the design that I did for this one, but I ended up painting it all white, and then I just added this blue pigment powder to it.
Every second, every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high.
Now I'm just removing the excess powder and cleaning up my sides, and this is how my design looked once I was completely done.
I'm talking about
After top coating everything, this is my final result. These are absolutely beautiful. I love them so much. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I tried to make this video as detailed as possible and easy to understand and follow along. Hopefully I answered most of your questions, but if you have any newer questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I had so much fun creating this set, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure you subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you can be one of the first to be notified when I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
She wanna go and party. She wanna go and party. Nigga don't approach her with that Atari. Nigga that ain't good game home is sorry. They say conversation, rule a nation. I can tell, but I could never right my wrongs unless I write it down.